In sub-Saharan Africa, more than 70% of the population has no access to electricity, and more than 70% of the final energy consumption in the region is based on wood energy, with all its consequences for the environment. According to biofuels expert Professor Thompson Sinkala, with favorable agroclimatic conditions and available arable land, including semi-arid lands which are suitable for crops, Africa can become a global superpower in the supply of bioenergy. Unfortunately, many African countries are far from starting meaningful actions towards establishing modern bioenergy industry. Africa has adequate renewable energy from a mix of resources to meet its current and future demands of an expanded access to modern energy. Professor Sinkala also touched on energy efficiency, which has a significant impact on both the cost and access to energy. Energy efficiency improvements offer huge opportunities for Africa to meet growing energy needs, secure a more sustainable energy supply and demand, improve business productivity, preserve local environment, and mitigate greenhouse gas emission.
It's been found that, in fact, Africa can save as much as $2.7 billion per year, which is approximately $54 million per country. That's a lot of money, actually, especially if you add other measures of energy efficiency. Examples also show that recovery of investment is pretty good within or less than 30 months. These are some of the examples. Now, there are drivers of future African energy demand, and again, there have been various presentations mentioning that. One is growing population, rising income, rising urbanization, and demand for equitable development. These will push governments to try to provide energy to all, or at least increase energy provision.
Energy and infrastructure lawyer Anna Katarina, in a paper on public-private partnerships in renewable energy development, looked at the prospects and challenges of PPPs in bringing clean, reliable electricity to those without it. A UN energy report said the estimated 2.5 billion people across the world who do not have access to reliable electricity supplies can benefit from clean and renewable energy generated through partnerships between governments and the private sector.
There is a legal and regulatory framework which is clear and, most importantly, stable and durable. It will automatically result in an improved investment climate because there will be a lower political risk for private sector involvement. The government will be able to provide the necessary support because most normally the off-takers in many jurisdictions in sub-Saharan Africa are not creditworthy in general to be able to enter into IPPs without any type of government support. And as a result of the improved investment climate, there will be more availability of both long-term debt and development capital.
I think this conference will give it a big leap to Africa's energy production. I think for several reasons, the future of the sector is very bright. I think the major challenge to our development process and the process of economic transformation on the continent is our energy deficits. Africa has serious energy deficit. Whether we are talking about electricity production, whether we are talking about all phases of renewable energy, we have serious deficits. And if we can get the energy sector in place, I think that will make tremendous progress.
The experts meeting of the AU Conference of Energy Ministers of Africa, CEMA, opened on Wednesday with the adoption of the draft agenda and work program and consideration of CEMA rules and regulations. The conference continues on Thursday with a ministerial roundtable addressing the issue of major challenges for private sector participation and investment in Africa, in particular energy sector development. The focus on this roundtable shall be implementation and policy dialogue between policymakers, that is African ministers, and the top-level public and private sector representatives, including the European Investment Bank and the African Development Bank, among others.